Very good morning to one and all present today for this webinar session on an extremely relevant topic, that of studies, teaching and learning in the post-COVID times, with particular reference to foreign language French. I extend my hearty welcome to all the speakers and express my gratitude to them for sharing their valuable thoughts on the webinar theme, French Studies in the Post-COVID Times. I also thank Dr. Jayavardhan, Assistant Professor, French, Amity School of Languages, to coordinate the event. So far as I can see, more than 100 participants have registered for this webinar. I welcome them all and ask them to voice their queries as the session wishes to be interactive. I would also like to read the message from Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Sir Amity University, Rajasthan, who could not join because of some important engagement at this point of time. So I feel extremely privileged to read his message. Language and culture studies will play a very important role in uniting the world and fighting adversities like pandemic. Multilingualism facilitates not only cultural integration but also economic growth and prosperity of nations. I wish a great success to this webinar and congratulate the leadership and team of Amity School of Languages for taking this initiative. My gratitude to all the experts and speakers of the webinar. So that was our message to us, and with that we will start our webinar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With that, we move ahead with the webinar. And to initiate the webinar, I would like to request Dr. Deepa Chakravarti to talk about the department. And before that, I would like to share the profile of Dr. Deepa Chakravarti with all of you. So ma'am is heading the department since 2010 and has more than 30 years of teaching experience. Ma'am has been very pivotal in laying the foundation of UG, PG courses at Amity School of Languages, along with the PhD programs. And also, ma'am is very instrumental in establishing MOUs with French universities like Rennes School of Business, Sciences Po Bordeaux, where she was even invited by LAM, the Research Center in African Francophone Studies, as a chercheuse invitée for 3 consecutive years. Over to you, ma'am, to talk about the department.
Yeah. In fact, before doing so, I would like to contextualize also today's webinar theme, which is French studies in the post-COVID period. As we are all going through a very unprecedented time of the pandemic for more than 1 year now. Now, during this period, we have experienced and experimented with technology-driven teaching. Many online tools, open education resources came to the fore. However, we found certain gaps in it. So there lies the importance of human teaching, and that needs to be highlighted. The National Education Policy, NEP 2021, recommended changes in the curriculum, including languages, in lines with the requirement of the students, and talked of hybrid mode of delivery, both online and offline. COVID-19 taught us also to coexist. Knowledge of languages and cultures would therefore be needed to break the vertical barriers that divide the nations and make the world united, bringing in economic prosperity and conviviality. Now, in keeping with these changes, Amity University, Rajasthan, as a pioneering university, developed the Industry Advisory Board, which would look into the employability need of the students. As we know, in these hard times, many, the youngsters they are in look for a good job. Whether language education can provide them with the same, that would be the topic and the discussion that will be done on the topic. So employability enhancement will be the major key of thought today, connecting the curricula with the market needs of the day. Not only this, our Board of Studies, also includes at all the department levels an industry expert. Not only we have this industry advisory board, but also inclusion of the industry expert in our Board of Studies that determine the curricula. So NEP also talks about the strengthening and also talks about restructuring the syllabi in order to make it more student friendly and market driven. Today, we are fortunate enough to have with us Ms. Dolon Gupta, who is our BOS industry expert as well as external expert industry advisory board of Amity School of Languages. Now so over to her, but before that I would request Dr. Jayavardhan to give a glimpse of her achievements. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving ahead with the session, we have with us the first expert. We have Ms. Dolon Gupta. And yeah, so ma'am has more than 30 years of experience, and she has lived through the transition in the learning industry. She has worked in academic institutes and corporate houses. Her ability to collaborate across diverse stakeholders and bring out the best in teams are her key strengths. So as you can see, ma'am is full of experience, and we will be delighted to listen to her. And just keeping it very short, her introduction, I'll quickly come on to the point that as an independent consultant, she now works with startups and multinationals, and she is a co-founder of Business Communication Facilitators Associations of India, that is BCFAI, and serves on the advisory boards of universities and educational institutes. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jayavardhan. And thank you, Professor Deepa. It is indeed an honor to be here today. So I'll just jump straight into the topic. The context has been very beautifully set by Professor Deepa. That is, according to studies, only 25% of our graduates in India are employable. And that is a cause of great worry to the government, to the academia, and to the industry. So how does one bridge this gap? That is the burning question for the day. It has been there for a while, but I think with COVID, it has come out even more that what can be done to bridge this gap. And things are being done. The government itself has launched initiatives from the campus to corporate initiatives, and quite a few in the last few months. The industry, they have tied up with the World Economic Forum on how do they upskill their workforce to be 21st century ready. And in academia, as Professor Deepa has already mentioned, that something that was not really there even 5 years ago has come into effect. And of course, Amity University, Jaipur is one of the pioneers in this. That is, there is an industrial advisory board. Usually there was a big divide between academia and industry, which is not there anymore today. There is an attempt by all three stakeholders to bridge this gap. So this is the first fact, that 25% only are employable. So what do we do about it? The next point, apparently not linked, but I do think there is an important link over here, especially for the audience today. The two other points I'd like to mention, that is, India has entered into a strategic partnership with France. And France is extremely keen on providing a platform to Indian students who are studying either French as their specialization or any other subject as their specialization to come to France and continue their studies there. This kind of red carpet is being rolled out to very few, is being rolled out from very few countries in the world. So studying French full-time or part-time I think this is the best moment to do it. And there is also the third point that I'd like to mention, that in January, President Macron is going to take over the leadership of European Union. And when he does that, the French is going to become the lingua franca of the European Union. That will be the official language. All documents will have to be in French. Till now, it was English. And with Brexit, one feels that why should one keep English there if UK is missing from the European Union? So French is increasingly going to get more importance in the world economic, in the growth factors. French is already the second most used language for business after English today, and it is growing. So given these factors, going in for studies for French, be it part-time or full-time, I think makes a lot of sense today. And what many of you probably already know, that being bilingual actually impacts our brain. When we learn a new language as an adult, I mean, Indians, I think we are all bilingual, multilingual in certain ways. But when we learn a foreign language as an adult, it changes the shape of our brain. It grows that part of the brain, which is the seat of executive functions. And that part is for the 21st century skills. So learning a foreign language is today considered almost as a non-negotiable thing, not just from the job market perspective, because being bilinguals, you are far better positioned to be considered for a job, but you are in a far better position to develop those 21st century skills that seem to be the essential skills. Because one talks of knowledge, yes, but also one needs additional behavioral skills, which is what I would say has been the biggest shift from the syllabus of 10 years ago, when the focus was completely knowledge. And today, I mean, when in my limited understanding of the Amity University curriculum, I mean, the others would be able to speak more about it, what I have seen the biggest change is that these skills have been introduced, the behavioral skills, the attitudes. I mean, people are hired for their knowledge, but fired for the lack of soft skills. And those soft skills are being introduced in the syllabi, which is the essential feature to improve employability prospects. Now to come to what are the kinds of jobs that one can get when one learns a foreign language. And we have already said that French is one of the best foreign languages to learn today in the economic, from the economic perspective. When you learn a foreign language, we are already familiar with the professions of in academia as translators and interpreters. But what we do know is with the artificial intelligence coming in, the translation and interpretation industry is going down a little. It's still not, we are still far away from the time when translators and interpreters will be replaced by machines or bots, but it is on the decline. In the European Union Parliament, already machines are being trained to interpret, and interpreters who are currently there are supposed not to be interpreting then 10 years down the line. They are supposed to become bot trainers. They are going to become trainers for machines who will interpret. So this job will remain, translation, interpretation, but there is going to be a transformation, a couple of, maximum a decade down the line, maybe even earlier, that training machines is going to be a very big factor for language teachers. And apart from that, in the corporate sector, whenever there is a merger or an acquisition, there is a demand for language. And if whatever foreign language one knows, yes, that definitely comes in handy. But apart from foreign language, there is also a cultural integration that is required. So another field that is in great demand today is the cultural trainers, the business culture trainers. And the best positioned to be intercultural trainers are foreign language students. And to become a foreign language student, one does not have to specialize in a single language. That is, If I know French, it's not that I will only be a cultural trainer for France. Intercultural studies is a complete field by itself. So having one knowledge of one foreign language is just the gateway into this world of intercultural training. And I myself have transitioned from being, part of French studies into the intercultural communication field. And the intercultural communication trainers, none of them started off as intercultural trainers. Everyone started off as a foreign language trainer and then moved into this field. So that is another very big field that is opening up. And for that, as yet, there are no bots in sight because this is such a new field. So I would definitely say that there is a lot of scope in the industry today for foreign language students to go in and do work which is not just about teaching the language, but much beyond teaching the language. And also, once one enters an industry, it's, one gets absorbed into human resource function, which is the learning and development, human resource function, and avenues start opening up. And in today's world, people do not work with neighbors. People are working with other colleagues who are spread all across the world, all across time zones. And when one has to work with people from completely different cultures, having a knowledge of intercultural understanding is the biggest skill that one can have. And that is there in the World Economic Forum report, which says future of work, which says the biggest skill that people will require in the future is to understand what the other person means. And when we say understand what the other person means, we are not talking of language here. There are translation tools, but meaning is the context, that is the cultural understanding. And having French, or it could be any other language, having a foreign language as a window into cultural understanding positions a foreign language student very well in developing the skill of understanding other people's mindsets, completely different cultural thought processes and values. So people who take French up full time, yes, there are jobs and many more jobs that we can even think of. There are even advertising jobs because companies hire for their marketing department where they are marketing in multiple markets. And when they market in completely different countries, the advertisement that they put out is not the same in each country. Depending on the audience of that particular country, the advertisement changes. So there are job opportunities even in the branding and communication sectors of industries. And for those who take up French part-time, that is not as a full-time, it's a huge bonus. And there are companies already who would give a 25% extra pay to, say, an engineer who knows French or German, or an accountant who knows French or German. So if a foreign language is an add-on, then there is an immediate salary benefit that the person gets, even be it in any other profession, IT professional, legal. French as an add-on is a huge benefit. So I'll stop there. This is just to give you a context. I'll look forward to any questions that you may have regarding this. Thank you. Over to you.
Just to add to that, Amity University has this value-added courses, which is meant for all the students. So they can take up a foreign language and they learn till A1, A2. So that way, this kind of, initiative of the university would help the students go a long way. Because
I completely agree there, because A1, A2 may seem elementary, but for an engineer or somebody in the tourism sector, they are not working to become teachers or interpreters.
Exactly.
They just need that rapport building level of language, and that is more than enough. When they go into negotiation, they'll have translators for them. So I think it is a very, really, I mean, the word says it all, value added. It's of great value.
And for the last 20-25 years, it's on by the Amity universities.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that insightful information. Now, moving ahead, we have our next speaker. As we can see on the screen, we have Dr. Arun Kumar Sansalingam. Sir is the Managing Director at French BPO, that's Loretta Language Solutions, located in Puducherry. He equally runs a foreign language institute called Lingua Mystica, and he's also the president of AIF Pro, that is Association of Indian French Professionals and Researchers. He got his PhD in teaching French as a foreign language from Pondicherry University, and he holds a licence lettres modernes from the University of Cergy Pontoise and a Master FLE from Université de Rouen. He has also worked with Alliance Française in India, and he has worked with the CNRS projects in Grenoble, France, and has also presented research papers in Lille, Bordeaux in the recent years. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jayavardhan. Respected dignitaries of Amity University, respected speakers, my dear friends, students, I'm here to share my thoughts on entrepreneurial success after studies. Are everyone destined to get a government job? With the mounting population, I feel it's a big question. Should we always look for a job, look for a boss? No, not at all. Not all times. You could be a boss, a CEO. An innate CEO might be in the core of your personality. You need to find it out. You might not know. Now, you might ask me a question, how is it possible? Is it difficult to become an entrepreneur? If you ask yourself the question, somewhere deep inside you, some of you might have the spirit, the creativity, the potential to create, invent, to innovate. If you feel it strongly, let me tell you, a CEO is in the making. We normally ignore the symptoms. So if you have a strong urge to make a business of your own, and if you come across the right brilliant ideas, why not give a try? At the same time, it's not easy like a filmy hero who tries to be a CEO overnight. A lot of planning and hard work is required. A lot of field work is involved before starting a business. There's a famous quote of Vince Lombardi. Dictionary is the only place that success comes before work. Hard work is the price we must pay for success. So hard work is equally important. Basically, we need 6 qualities to become an entrepreneur: determination, self-motivation, creativity, time management, confidence, and flexibility. These are some of the principal traits you need. Now, as a French student, a lot of French students should be watching this. As a French student, after the completion of BA French or MA French, how does one start a business of his own? Actually, the professional journey starts when you are studying. Students need to be focused of what they wish to become. Good professors guide them to fix professional targets at college level itself. You choose very early your professional goals, not after your studies. In fact, 1/3 of the profession should kickstart while you pursue the course. Let's say a French student wants to start a language tutorial. He should first start as a freelance tutor, an online tutor maybe. A student who wishes to become a translator should start offering a few translation services, petty services. So steps are there, learning steps are there. These steps lead us to the big dream. Basically, students who are immersed in a good curriculum at the college, acquiring the right basic skills, are far more ahead in the race. We could see numerous well-built syllabi, especially post-COVID. And Amity University rightly offers a good syllabus. Now, let me talk about the 3 paths a French student can take after his or her French studies. Post-COVID, we have understood the importance of online services. Here are a few zones one can enter and succeed based on one's interest, profile, and skills. So I'm just giving you 3 zones: teaching, translation, and web services. Let's first start with teaching. So as I said earlier, a student after completing his or her studies can become a freelancer, an online tutor, for example, to experiment with. the person can slowly start seeing, like what's new and unique you can offer. The person has to check for market demand. What is the current demand for the online tutoring services? And then later can create an own language institute online. The person can create online educational resources, tools. I'll tell you about a success model. There's a site called Les Experts Fleur. And the founder of this particular website started posting small PDF files on French grammar and vocabulary. And it was just posted free of cost. They made it really professional. And once it became popular, they started to design more PDFs and they started selling. And now it's selling like hotcakes. Why I'm saying this? Because it's a very simple idea, just selling PDFs on French grammar and vocabulary. But he got the idea. In fact, it's an idea which makes money, but an innovative or a never before thought idea. But how do we get them? How do we get this kind of ideas? I would like to quote an example of a famous cartoonist of a French daily newspaper. He used to say in his interviews that, like to get his ideas every day, he used to sit in the same place, same time, and with the same mindset, and he gets an idea. Every day he gets an idea to make his cartoon. So even getting ideas can become a habit. All we need is the effort, the extra effort we need. So that's for the teaching zone. So, students can become tutors, online tutors, can create a language institute of, but the thing is that the person should be well equipped. The person should update himself or herself with the current trends, what is happening, in the teaching industry. That's very important. Now, the second zone is the translation industry. So again, I would suggest a person, when the person is a student, like maybe in his third year, maybe he can start, giving some freelance services, some translation services, some interpretation services, can participate in translation discussion forums. He can update himself about, the translation tools available. For example, we have Lingui, Trados Studio. As Mrs. Dolan Gupta said, you need to be familiar, with what is happening in the field. In future, she was saying that, there are going to be a lot of bot trainers. So it's very important to get updated every day. So that's very important. And then after being a freelancer, then you can check the market demand, about the translation services, and with a group of your friends who are, well versed in translation, you can start a translation and interpretation company of your own. So that is the second possibility. The third possibility is, web services. So what can be done? So here, what I would like to suggest is you can combine the linguistic skills, your linguistic skills, with the technical skills of another person. Either you acquire those technical skills. If you have time, you can take up some courses related to coding, programming, all about cloud technologies, or you can collaborate with another person who already has this knowledge. So you can create, for example, a digital creative company, collaborating with graphic designing experts. And of course, you can become a freelance content writer for web pages. It's absolutely possible. And when you start working, when you go global, one point I would like to emphasize is the intercultural aspect. I think Madam Dolan Gupta, she was also talking about the intercultural understanding, which is very important. And doing business with friends, I feel it's an art. So there are a lot of cross-cultural elements one need to learn before starting to do business with the friends. So there are courses available. And everyone must manage to acquire certain skills, updating themselves on the various technologies, current technologies. Especially these days, we talk a lot about cloud-based technology. Cloud is the future. And the students can also venture into app development, content development for websites, can create interactive language games. So all these things are possible. So whatever we are going to deliver in future, it's going to be delivered on a virtual platform. It can be on a mobile or a computer. So we have to absolutely update ourselves, pick the extra skill and become successful. As said by Leo Tolstoy, the two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Sow the seed today, my dear friends. Plan, execute, and wait with patience. The future is yours. I wish you all great success in your future projects. Thank you, Amity, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for those enriching words. And I'm sure to start the journey of an entrepreneur, those words will be very useful. Moving ahead with our next expert, we have with us Dr. Sharmili Jaipal. And ma'am has taught at institutions like Alliance Française Arts and Science College. And currently she's working as an assistant professor of French in Pondicherry University. And she is working there since 2010. She has a teaching experience of almost 20 years at UG and PG levels. And from 2019 onwards, she has been guiding the PhD scholars as well. Her area of research interests are French and Francophone literature. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Jay and Professor Deepa, for this beautiful opportunity. Dear participants, dear colleagues, and dear students, I'm here with you to share my views on the need for a new curriculum adapted to the new normal. So when the pandemic started, the shift from a physical classroom to a virtual one happened in a very short span of time as academic life has to move on. And the transition was the need of the hour. Needless to say, it was challenging for both sides. Teachers became digital trainers and were working on online classroom management while juggling with online teaching tools. And on the other hand, students and learners were already known for their digital skills, were asked to collaborate with the teachers to make this virtual reality success. So when it comes to foreign language teaching, especially French, the challenge was to make the online mode of teaching as effective as the classroom teaching. So this question leads us to another aspect, which is about the needs of the students, whether the current curriculum was able to fulfill their specific requirements. And this current situation leads us to another point, which is the need of a new curriculum adapted to the new normal. Throughout many years, academicians have been constantly working on improving foreign language curriculum so as to make it more learner-centric. And in the current context, the ideal curriculum should enable students to achieve two essential objectives. First is academic performance, next is professional achievement. So these are the two topics my presentation is going to focus on. So when it comes to academic performance, choosing to study a French language, doing studies foreign language such as French involves a gradual learning process. French grammar, French and Francophone literature, linguistics, translation, didactics, along with French tourism and hotel management are the main subjects taught in most of the higher institutions starting at the BA level. And students are often expected to become familiar with those subjects in a semester or two, which I think is not always practically feasible. But however, for me, the main objective of learning any foreign language, whether you're working offline or online, is to reach a good level in terms of communication skills. All the other skills should be made secondary. So before learning about linguistics, literature, or translation, students should be encouraged to speak and write in French. So subjects as spoken French or French grammar, survival French, basic writing skills, or interactive French can be offered at the initial stage for at least 2 semesters to boost the confidence level of the students who will not end up studying Francophone literature without a strong language foundation or asked to make an oral presentation on French monuments without having acquired some basic oral skills. So these can be also offered as soft course or optional papers. Another point is putting the learners in a real context of communication. This can also be achieved in the virtual mode. So collaborative work platform could be created to encourage students to language students for live interaction with their counterparts from any francophone country. So these virtual meetings could be monitored by language teachers who can plan them according to the needs and levels of the concerned students. See, these virtual exchanges can be really productive because they bring us closer to some sort of reality. Such projects will need, of course, tie-ups between Indian and foreign institutions. Being able to socially interact outside the academic zone is the need of the hour for all language students. Having acquired a strong language base will certainly provide them with the necessary motivation and confidence level to explore other French-related subjects without fear. Coming back to the current situation of online teaching, before discussing about its success rate, providing the students with a user-friendly learning platform is mandatory. I'm sure you're all familiar with the concept of LMS, Learning Management System. So there are numerous virtual learning platforms which gained popularity during the lockdown. Hence, introduction to their features can be included in a language syllabus so that it benefits both teachers and learners. This has been done through teachers training programs which have been conducted during the past few months. So why not include them in the official language curriculum? And the language curriculum should pave way to new learning options, taking into consideration the needs created by the current situation. I'm coming to my second part of my presentation, professional achievement. Academic performance cannot be the sole objective of any curriculum. It should open the doors to professional success by making the students not only skillful, but also employable. So Dolor ma'am spoke at length about that. So getting to know the real demands of the job market will definitely make us realize the need to stand out of the crowd. Having said that, the curriculum could also include focus on technical knowledge by offering intensive training courses on translation, interpretation, linguistics, or French literature, so as to provide the interested students with a deeper knowledge of that particular field. So for instance, a course on translation would reveal the nuances of this professional skill, who could be with the support of an experienced translator who could be on board to share his or her experiences, as well as by offering his personal tips. Same can be done with a paper on subject on French creative writing, wherein students will discover the unexplored aspects of French writing with the presence of a French or a Francophone writer who could talk about his or her style of writing. So all such courses involve imparting practical knowledge, which should be as valuable as theoretical knowledge. Internships play a crucial role in making students employable, since the current curriculum should need to include more such internships so as to make them more aware of the real demands of the job market. We're all familiar with the concept of campus interviews. They create a direct link between recruiters and potential candidates. During the pandemic, such exchanges took a backseat. Recruiters preferred to work with a smaller team, or they wanted to select candidates based on the comfort level in the work from home scenario. So currently, students seem to be left on their own as they try to enter the real job market. Needless to say, the resourceful ones will end up obtaining meritorious positions. Others will have to improve their potential in order to be noticed. So in this context, I would suggest the conduct of mock interview sessions for final year students, making it part of their curriculum. This will definitely boost their confidence level and make them aware of their qualities as well as weaknesses. In the same context, virtual campus interviews could be conducted in collaboration with the corporate sector. This will again boost job opportunities for all language students. I would like to just end by saying that a successful language curriculum involves frequent modifications and updating in order to cater to the new requirements and train the learners to face confidently this new reality in which we are living. I'm looking forward to the interactive session. Thanks a lot for your patient listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharmili. In fact, your valuable inputs were there. But just to tell you that this kind of specific French for specific objectives, we have already introduced since quite some time. That is French for tourism and French for hotel management is already included. So for as internship is concerned, we do give a lot of focus on that. So our students are going in a summer internship at the end of the 4th semester, as well as project-based learning. Every semester has got a project, And sometimes this is being collaborated with foreign universities. As we were talking rightly about the collaborative work, like they are working with the tutors, French tutors at CLA online. They are also working, doing a course online or in hybrid mode in the foreign universities. So Amity School of Languages have already put this into perspective. But yes, as you said, that when we are teaching Francophone literature, which is very much there, then why not make them interact with a Francophone author? Or as you were saying, that training them in job, mock interviews, all this should be put on board, and we are looking forward to do so. Thank you for your inputs, Dr. Sharmili.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, experts, for those insightful inputs. Moving ahead, we are opening up for the question and answer session now. So I'll request the participants, the audience who are listening to us, if at all you have questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the question answer box. Also, you can raise your hand if you want to be live and you would want to ask your question directly to the experts.
I found some 6 questions in the chat box.
Yeah, so we have a question that is coming up from Mr. Chandan Kumar. Mr. Chandan Kumar is asking a question. Some suggestions for new edupreneur.
So if he can be online and ask his question.
Yeah, so I'll request Maqsood ji to unmute Chandan Kumar ji, Chandan Kumar, so that he could ask the question.
Hello.
Yeah, Chandan ji, please go ahead for your question.
Yeah. Bonjour tout le monde.
Bonjour.
Just I want some suggestions for like teachers like us who are running an institute like Gayatri French School, currently in Patna. So I need some suggestions from my teacher Sharmili ma'am.
That question is for Dr. Sharmili. If you could guide Chandan Kumar ji how to go ahead with his institute, some inputs that he's looking for to, for the better functioning of his institute. Maybe other experts could also rope in later on.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's start with Sharmili ji first.
Chandan, I've been running the institute for how many years? Just few questions from my side.
Yeah, ma'am. I have been running this institute from past 2 years. And before that, I was teaching French in schools like GD Gonka Public School and Krishna Niketan Girls School.
Yeah, what is your question actually?
So I am running an institute, foreign language institute, and I'm teaching French to my students. And most of them are like professionals, which I am training in French language. So I need some suggestions to improve our functions, ma'am. Some suggestion for the new edupreneurs who wants to run a school in a better way.
Right.
Could I answer?
Yes, Arun can answer that.
Yes. Chandan?
Yes, Arun.
Yeah, you're there. Yeah. Mr. Chandan, actually, there are 2 things. The first thing is, in case we are running an institute, like if you have a group of teachers, a team of teachers, the first thing what we need to do is we have to see to that, they all get the necessary certifications. For example, we have the Profleur Plus, for example, of the French Ministry of Education, for example, and that can really, train your team of teachers to reach, the right kind of level, you're expecting. So the Profleur Plus course can really be helpful for the teachers. So that is one thing regarding the competency of the teachers.
Actually, I am running my own. I am running by, I am the only teacher here.
Oh, okay.
And it is an online school which trains peoples and students and professionals.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right. But Chandan, the thing is that quality of training, good training program should be also put into perspective so that teachers get upgraded. And embassy is doing it in a big way. Profleur is one of them. And if you go to Salle de Professeur, you will find so many formation that are being undertaken. You can apply for that.
Thank you, Chandan ji, for that question. Moving ahead, we have another question that is coming from Fusion James, and the question is: can you please specify how French is useful in the tourism industry? I think I can divert that question to Ms. Dolon Gupta, ma'am.
Yes, in tourism industry, I think the first thing is that, well, one starts off as a guide, because there are people who, as a matter of fact, if you'd like me to connect you to someone, I am aware of two of my friends who used to be my classmates who are running successful tourism. Well, they are tourism entrepreneurs, but they're guides. I mean, not just the ones who take you around a monument, but who entirely plan your complete trip for French-speaking professionals. One of them is based in West Bengal, but is taking them all around West Bengal. Another person is actually based in Pondicherry. So having your own tourism agency is one of them. And also jobs in hotels. If one wants to be an entrepreneur, tourism agency. And if you want a job, hotels are a very good place, because I would say, if you have some qualification, fantastic. Otherwise, a bit of certification in hôtellerie et tourisme, if one can get it, and knowledge of French will immediately put you ahead of all other candidates. These are two jobs I can think of right away, two types of jobs.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that answer. Moving ahead, we have a question that's by Mr. Badri Narayan. I'll direct this question to Dr. Arun Kumar. The question is, could you please suggest some French forums where we can talk to each other and share some ideas, like WhatsApp group or any Facebook community for more of interaction? For you, sir. Yeah, Badriji, you can ask your question, please, directly to our expert, Dr. Arun Kumar Santhalingam. Yeah, could you please?
I feel Dr. Jayavardhan can very well answer to this question regarding the forums.
The forums are so many. Even today I think there is a scarf flow in the evening, 5 p.m.
Yes.
But I think Arun, if you can, you join, and then Dr. Jayavardhan can add to it, because it is
okay. Right. No, the thing is that like I'm quite unfamiliar with the discussion forums, since I've been dealing more with the teacher training programs. So I have not been interacting with students these days. So that's why I was maybe Dr. Sharmili can give her inputs, because she has been interacting a lot with the students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not part of any forum, but I think the Facebook users, I think there are some students community where you can there are some forums for French teachers. I think there are some forums for French students also, where they can become member and exchange their ideas, and even post a question for which they will get answers. But you have to make sure that there are some also native speakers in the forum. So I think there are lots of forums in Facebook. You just have to put in type French and see what are the results, and find out which one is really interactive, because there are some forums which might be really passive with nothing happening. So just choose, and you can browse and find out. I think Facebook has lots of such platforms where you can become member and create a kind of interaction with other members or who share the same interest in learning or improving in the French language.
I can just add one point to what Sharmili says. Actually, there are certain magazines which have their own forums. For example, we have the AL magazine, for example, which gives which has a forum discussion on the beauty health part, and then on sustainable development. For example, we have certain sites on développement durable, and we have associated discussion forums. So students can directly participate in those discussion forums, because sometimes the B1 or B2 students, we advise them to go into those forums, discuss with the French native speakers. That's one possibility.
In fact, Dr. Arun, that brings to my mind the particular platform that Emmanuel Macron, the French president, has given. Make our world better. Make our planet better. That was a particular forum that he launched also. So where it is on sustainability, renewable energies, eco-friendly tools. So that is that you can find on the embassy website. Those who are interested. These kind of forums are there, and Particularly, also, I'd like to tell you that the relationship between India and France uh, was always good, but now it is even better because of President Macron's collaborative thought with other countries, particularly the developing countries. And India is in a very big position. He wants more and more students to go there to learn, and he also wants their students to come here. And in keeping with that, if universities can work, this is the right time that we can, uh, get rope in some benefits for us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think that was a wonderful answer by the experts and by Deepa ma'am. So I think Badri Naranji would have a lot of platforms to latch on to. Moving ahead for the next question, I will divert that question to Ms. Dolon Gupta ma'am. The question is by Mr. Manoj Kumar, and there's one more common question. That's what are the possibilities of jobs for French graduates after this pandemic? And joining the same question, there is Ms. Varnika Tyagi who asks, good morning, everyone. My question is that what are the current requirements for any MNC or in the field for a bachelor students to get placed with them? So we take those questions together.
On live, because
yes, because what are their current qualifications? It would be good to know.
Okay, yeah. So I'll request Maqsood to put Varnika Tyagi on the live mode.
Both.
Even Manoj Kumarji, so that we get to know as to what their question is.
Yeah. I mean, while they're coming live, there's one point I can mention, that is a lot of the MNCs look for a master's degree. So that would be a very general first step. I mean, one does not really see what a master's degree, what specialization, but a master's degree becomes a cutoff in many MNCs. But apart from that, if I could understand what their current qualifications are, I could answer it better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maqsood ji can give her the rights to be in the same platform with us.
Right. Maqsood ji, can you please unmute Ms. Varnika Tyagi so that she could ask a question?
Sir, I am trying, sir.
Okay. And even
good morning, everyone.
Yeah, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Currently, I am pursuing my bachelor's in French from Amity University, Rajasthan, under the guidance of Dr. Deepa Chakravarti, ma'am, and Jayawardhan, sir. My question is regarding the job opportunities and the requirements. As after COVID, the requirements have been changed in many of the MNCs and in many fields for hotel management as well as tourism industry. So my question is regarding what are the current requirements so that we can easily grab those requirements and something to enhance our CV and to get more job opportunities after bachelor's.
All right. Now, the first requirement always of any company are digital, and it's an add-on. It's going to be an essential skill, that is digital skills. So if you have them already, fantastic. Otherwise, do a certification or something, some kind of ability to code. Coding is going to be an essential skill. And all IT companies, and especially with COVID, one has seen the success of IT companies. I mean, they're making profits at a time like this. So all IT companies would be looking for coders. So if you could get a coding certification somewhere, and in addition, if you have French skill, French knowledge, you will be a prize candidate in any MNC. But my only concern is some of them look first for a master's degree. So that is something you may want to complete before going in for that.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Looking at the paucity of time, we'll be able to take just a few more questions. But even before that, I would like to inform all the participants that we are putting the link for the feedback form in the chat box so that you can access the link and you can proceed with later on for the feedback. So I'm putting it in the chat box. I've done it. So meanwhile, we are asking some more questions. People can always access, and if at all there's any problem, they can write in the chat box as well. Moving ahead with the next question, we have the question is in French, so I'll read it out in French. I think we'll direct this question to Dr. Sharmili ma'am. So that question is by Vishwaja, and she writes, Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, je suis Vishwaja et je fais ma maîtrise à l'université de Pondicherry. Ma question est que les étudiants de nos jours ont besoin de bonnes attitudes, comportements et gestes pour être embauchés. mais dans le mode de cours en ligne, je pense que c'est vraiment un défi pour les aspirants de développer ces compétences. Alors, comment les aspirants peuvent-ils se perfectionner en cette période de pandémie? So, should I translate that in English for the other participants to understand? That will be.
Can she be given the rights to come?
Yeah. So I'll request Maksoodji to put Vishwaja Kanan on live.
And you can ask.
Yeah.
Bonjour, madam.
Bonjour. Please go ahead.
And you see, I have a question that Madam Dorna Gupta said the aspirants should possess the good attitude, gestures for their works, the job. So in this pandemic, we are having the classes only. So how can an aspirant can acquire that skill and how can they develop it?
So I think Sharmili ji can take it, but also Dulon Gupta highlighted this.
I think Dulon Gupta ma'am can start and I'll add my input to this.
Yes.
Right.
In MIT undergrad, some of these skills, attitude, that is the behavioral skills, in the undergrad syllabus, it's already there. And apart from that, the skills required are critical thinking, collaborative skills, creativity. And communication. I'm not even mentioning communication because I think all of you would be good at it. So creativity, critical thinking, and another one, problem-solving skills, decision-making skills. And there are lots of these courses available even on Coursera. So while you're waiting, suppose you feel you have enough time now, and this course is being offered in the next semester by Amity. Don't wait for it. Go ahead and do it right now. You'll be better placed next semester when you do the course. Coursera offers a lot of these courses with where it's attitudes.
Just to add to that, Dolunji, we have also undergraduate and postgraduate, and also communication skill like collaborative working, team working, all are already there.
Yes. So it's already there, but if you want to do it right now, go ahead, do it.
Yeah.
Somewhere else also.
So that you go for this Coursera courses, why not? It always gives you an opportunity to become better, because you are having some initiative, because Vishwaja is not from Amity, she's from a different university.
Okay.
She's from Pondicherry University, ma'am. She's my student.
So go for this Coursera courses.
Yes, Sharmili ma'am, you want to add something, please?
I think I think Dollar ma'am covered almost everything. So I think MOOC or SWAYAM also can be considered as like students can avail some of the short training programs in the meantime, because I think there will be a gap between the end of their masters and getting the job. So instead of waiting and applying for different jobs, I think they can always update themselves, and I think this is the right time to do it. So you can stay at home and attend or train in some particular courses, like ma'am said Coursera, but you have also the MOOC courses, you have the SWAYAM, and choose the ones which you might think will make you more employable. So I think this is the right time to participate to apply to those courses.
Right. And just one more, I wanted to make an addition, Harappa courses. Harappa Education, they have online courses, 16 to 20 hours courses for each of these skills. And they are not too expensive. It's between 2,000 to 3,000 per course. It's, also an option.
It's Harappa skills?
Harappa courses, Harappa, online education.
Okay.
You can buy these courses.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Since we have a paucity of time, we'll just quickly take one or two last questions. I'll direct this next question by Ms. Neetu to Dr. Arun Kumar Santhalingam. She asks that, thank you for the wonderful session. And is FLIR required for the school teachers? And if yes, then from where can I do it? Because you mentioned about the ProFLIR, so perhaps you could guide a bit about that.
Yes, actually this ProFLIR course, actually it would be a very useful course for the school teachers. Basically what they expect is, like a B2 level. B2 level, a DELF B2 level, and like once they have this B2 level, they can apply for this ProFLIR course, and we have different modules in ProFLIR. And I mean, the school teachers can select any one of the modules necessary for their particular, they might be lacking any one particular skill. So they can choose the module they want and they can, go towards perfection. So I feel Proflow Plus will be a very good option, and of course there are numerous workshops being conducted worldwide, and there are a lot of online webinars from Institut Français, which are conducted, almost every month, and they can make use of it.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'll just take the last question for the day. That's by Ms. Anukriti Sharma. She asks, is it important to have a degree in French from a prestigious university or an institute to go ahead in a career, or is it okay to have a good level of understanding of the language to go ahead in one's career? So I think I'll divert that question to Dolon ma'am. Perhaps you could guide on that.
I think both have their benefits. That is, that degree will probably open the door better for you in comparison. But if you want to stay in the door, it's only that good level that will help.
Yeah. It's your personal competency that you have to grow.
Yeah. Once you're in, you have to prove yourself. The degree, the institution won't help.
And also, today, at one time in our times, it was, we'll always go for, big names, conventional, famous universities. But today the thing is that it has become more individualized. Some students are upcoming, and they want to do good. From their maturity level is so high, they improve themselves. Yes, the university background will be necessary, but more will be your, aspiration and how you can meet those ends.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. With that, we are coming to the end of the session. And with permission of Dr. Deepa Chakravarti, ma'am, should we close the session now?
Yes, we can close, but we have to again thank each and everyone, our esteemed speakers and our participants who, made it so vibrant. I never thought it would be so good, but, this gave us also the inspiration to conduct much more sessions like this, which will be beneficial to everyone. Thank you. Thanks a lot to Dr. Jayawardene also, to everyone, to our IT support, to our management, particularly to our Vice Chancellor, and also Pro-Vice Chancellor, sir, who had always encouraged us to do this kind of work. And we'll be going for faculty development programs as well as non-credit courses online in immediate future. So stay connected with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all the experts, and thank you dear participants to have been there with us all throughout the session. We hope that it was enriching for you. Thank you and have a great day.